Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the weekend update. I'm going to start off with the Dow daily chart, as I always do. And you can see here, it's having a little bit of difficulty breaking this low 35s area. A lot of earnings reports coming out. We've got, a lot of headwinds out there. We've got the stimulus infrastructure bill supposedly being voted on today. Whether or not that charges the market or is used as a sell the news event, don't know. We'll just have to see what the algos and the option traders have decided what the path is going to be for these large caps in the next few days. QQQ is the one I am watching and the one I'm paying more attention to, because this is the speculative part of the market that we are actually concerned with. And flashing some warning signs here is not just because of the action we saw off of Amazon, but just, we've had this extended run up over the last couple of months. That's a lot similar to that extended run we had from November through February before we saw a really rapid sell-off. And that is something we need to pay attention to here, especially with traders still having in their mind the action we saw in the market last year. Now, last August was rather different, but if traders feel something's going to happen and enough of them feel something's going to happen, the shorts and the option writers will try their best to make that happen. And last year we had the Sputnik Russian vaccine that hammered a lot of the speculative bios. And we also had the options strategy by SoftBank that ended up supercharging a lot of stocks, and then they all crashed down at the end of August into September. Not saying that's going to happen again, but having, a cautious stance. As I've said, my goal, at least into later this year, is to sit at 80 to 90% cash is my desired cash position in my swing for me. Doesn't mean I don't have to trade. Doesn't mean there's not going to be movers, as you've seen in the last week. I'm just taking a cautious stance with volumes drying up around there in the market. It's August, a lot of people going on vacation, etc., etc., etc. Before I move on to some stock plays, I wanted to talk about ITP. Now, I jumped into this sector a few days ago, anticipating a move on mass, with the mass mandates, being pushed out, and the mass stock started moving. ITP was really lagging, and it gave a very, very small gain. And I said, you know what? I think the movement in mass plays is over. That was my thinking, only because we have gazillions of mass out there. Got out of the stock with a small gain. Lo and behold, Friday the mass stocks blew up, and this stock ran big. Do I care? Nope. I moved on. My DD was correct. My thinking was right. I just got out with a small gain, which was a gain anyway, and moved on. The reason I bring that up, something I read a lot of out there from traders, especially ones who end up not being as successful as they could be, is that they would use something like this as an excuse to hold on to another loser or another stock that didn't go the right way, because they're going to go, well, I got out of ITP, so I'm going to hold XYZ and ABC and all these other stocks. And then they go back and they look back and they go, well, now I can't sell, and they just ride these stocks down. You have to trade like a robot. I thought the story was over. I moved on. My DD was correct. That's my mental positive check mark in my head, and I've moved on. Look at AEI for an example this past week. I owned this stock long term. I thought they were really positioned, and they are really positioned for a booming sector in the next few years. But the story changed. These guys are involved with Aegis. They made a deal July 14th to do an offering. They gave these, in my opinion, that was the reason we saw all that shorting happening. They knew an offering was coming. Then they ended up throwing out the pre-funded warrant language, and I'm like, nope, kicking you to the curb. A couple of days later, offering even 50% lower than that. That is why you need to, when you move on, you move on. You make a note of what happened, and that is the key. It's one of the big keys if you plan on being successful at this for years, is treating these stocks and the way you trade them like I just described. So anyway, let's jump into some actual real stock plays here. INUV. Did not adjust this chart from the last time I did the video. It's having an issue here with all of these moving averages, but I'm leaving the chart here. These guys signed a deal with one of the top 5 companies in the world. Their business is up 400% with them. And this stock is trading down here when we see garbage trucks running up you know, 1, 2, 3, 400% on a daily and weekly basis. Now, a large part of the reason this stock is down here, in my opinion, is where it trades. It trades on Scamex. If this was a NASDAQ stock, we wouldn't even be having this discussion under $1, in my opinion. We'd probably be looking at this thing at 2, 3 plus easily based on the news that we've seen out there. But we're stuck dealing with these guys. Think of it as option brokers. That's what this entire index is like, in my opinion. Still sitting on this one. Still one of my larger swings. I'm a patient guy. It was like this last year on this stock, and then it went on that epic run. So I'm just a matter of, you know, sitting and waiting on this one. I forgot to mention AI real quick. Again, this chart still continues to be a barometer of the market. As you can see, continues to find new action, but it's random out there. The volumes are down. We're not seeing the mania in a stock like this that we're going to see across the board. We're seeing movers out there, but we're not seeing lots and lots and lots and lots of movers. We're seeing them in random spots, and that is why I'm using this as a great barometer for the overall feel of the market out there. News plays coming up this week. UAMY. This is the weekly chart. We finally broke out that 107 area. It's 110. They've got a conference call tomorrow. Let's see if we get a good update from them. The chart, this is the weekly chart right now, just looks fantastic in my opinion. If I flip over to the daily chart, 110 close, and we're off to the races, I think, on this chart. Again, another great setup. Hopefully they come out and give us that update, a nice little update tomorrow on Ambry. You know, batteries are all over the news. Look what Tesla's saying about it. You know, the EV era is here, but the infrastructure plan as well. If they want charging stations all over the country, they're going to need storage. They're going to need batteries. And these are the kinds of plays that are going to do great. Again, look, trades on Scamex. The ones with the best DD are stuck on the wrong indexes, but when they go and are allowed to go, they tend to go big. NTEC, talk about a patience play, and boom, all the way back up. That has been the new trend. When they do these merger plays, they drop them down, rocket them back up again, and this one was a picture-perfect move. 17 before the merger, hammered down, back up to 17. Now, one that should, in my opinion, do the same and actually has more going for it. Although, I'm still in a nice little position here on NTEC because, remember, they've got two big pieces of news coming here. They've got a possible update on their cannabis drug with GWPH that they signed late. I think it was in December. And then the company they merged with has FDA IND news possibly coming at any time. Now, SBET, as I mentioned, is now merged into a sports betting company. It's August. Welcome to August, guys. NFL is just around the corner. This stock was up at 17, came all the way back down. MACD, deeply oversold. Stochastics, deeply oversold. Nice setup on this one for a swing. Chip sector. ELTK is a profitable stock. My goodness, when they finally allow this stock to close over this level, I think it's going to be fun. Likewise with MOSY. This is another one. Chip shortage is not over, people. It is spreading out. Next up, cell phones. You're going to hear about refrigerators, ovens. You wouldn't believe the stuff that we have our chips in, and you're going to start to see longer and longer lead times. We hear all the chatter about cars. Wait till you starting to buy large appliances now when they need these chips. The chip shortage is still in its infancy and about to spread to some other sectors, in my opinion. $5 close is the break on this one. Again, these guys are profitable. This is a 5G stock, all looking good. Now, I talked about the mass plays as a sector that I was early on. Biotechs. The biotech Delta variant plays should be next. Now, we've had some very, very nice winners this week on that and in the swing thing. COC-P, which, as we know, Monty likes a lot, had a Delta variant news, big pop. We also had the same thing happen on OGEN. OGEN had its Delta variant news, but again, don't mean to harp on it. Huge move up, came all the way back down. Scamex stock. Hey, it is what it is. Now, the ones I'm waiting on for news are TLSA. They have a Delta variant take-home COVID treatment. 220 break. 225. 50-day is where freedom will be on this nice little flag that we have setting up, and the 200 days up there at 283. This would be one, if they dropped a good press release pre-market, you could see them chasing it up there. At least I could see them chasing it up there. Here's the weekly chart. Now, one thing you'll notice, I've been posting a lot of weekly and monthly charts for a number of the swings that I'm in. That's actually a good thing that I need to look out that far. That means things are turning around and looking promising for a lot of these stocks. So that's, a glimmer of optimism out there. Now, the other Delta variant play, ADMP, first target zone was a move up here to the 120.30 area, and actually did that late on a very nice move on Friday. That's the next key break level here. This is another one. Drops a press release. You can see them chasing this one up at 160 to 75. No problem. The way we see stocks getting chased these days. SPRT, patience play, paid out big time. 10 plus. Doesn't show it here, but in after hours, I think it almost got to $11. Now, if we flip over to the 1 hour chart, this is just such a nice stair stepper play. Now, looking at this chart, looks a lot like here. So we could be in store for another, pop early this week on this chart. MACD, deeply oversold, stochastics oversold. It's going to depend on what crypto's doing and the merger plays, but this one actually looks good going into this upcoming week. And the one that trades with that is any. Now, this is a monthly chart on any. The reason I'm pulling up the monthly chart, this stock is curling. It's another green Bitcoin mining play, merger play. $4, the 390 to 4 level is going to be a key break level for this one, and it could see a move up to the 6s once that occurs. Another merger play going into September and October here in a very, very hot sector right now. VERB, I jumped back into a smaller swing position last week. These guys are hinting at more big stuff coming, and as we've known, this stock, when they hint, they outperform. It's just a matter of being patient while they let the algos do their back and forth thing. Breakout 250 is what I'm looking at here. Low flow plays, back in play, CARV, infrastructure play, deeply oversold, chart looks nice, stochastics in the basement, MACD as well. Break close over 16 would probably be freedom for that move up to 20. That's what I'm looking for on this one, on the swing. Another beautiful chart setup here is TKAT. Look at this. RSI curling up, positive MACD, stochastics from a very, very deep oversold level about to break up through 20. Now, the last time we saw moves like this or setups like this chart had a phenomenal, when it first happened here, look at this move. Even here, 14 to 24. Nice setup. 20-day exponential, 876. Last stock I want to mention is another one of these stocks that's profitable with a tiny float in a red hot sector. It's one, I'm being patiently swinging and waiting for the move. And that move, probably going to be a close over 650, but I would say 7s is where the freedom will really come on this one. Not as many swings right now. I've started to nibble a few more, but, I'm okay raising my cash levels. As I've said, my goal into October is to try and keep around 80 to 90% plus cash in my swing. And if the last 2 weeks didn't show you that, you should be able to make profits even sitting on a high cash stance in your swing. You adjust your strategy. If you can do well in a market like this with high cash, when the things really do turn around and the mania returns like they usually do, you're very, very positioned, or you're well positioned to do very well mentally and with your wallet. So that's it for the video. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, and I will see you all in the chat room tomorrow. Bye.